Hello and welcome to one of the most famous sporting venues in the world, the Los-Angeles Colosseum, which of course staged the 1984 Olympic Games and is venue now for the second staging of the Marlboro Cup, a four-team international tournament involving today's opponents, the Soviet Union and Colombia, Эрrera. And now number 10, Redin. Good run by Gomez in the middle. And Redin tried the shot, and back it comes to him again. And another shot rebounds off the Soviet defensive wall. Good ball for Litovchenko, and that's a fine ball down the right. Now there's plenty in the middle here, and it's a good little ball, and Rodionov gets on the end of it. And that could have been a goal easily. Igita did well. I remember in 1988 they went over to Great Britain to play in the Rouse Cup, where they played both England and Scotland and drew with both of them, as Igita proves the point I was making earlier about his willingness to make. Zygmantovich. And here he is again, Igita, coming far out of his area to head the ball clear, and he could be in trouble if he's here. Rodionov realised that, but couldn't deliver an accurate enough chip. Litовченко forward. That's a great ball by Litовченко, turned on by Черенков, and a rather wild clearance, and Igita had to come and claim it again and did well. Mendоса. Back it comes to the Soviets. Nice little ball in field, and good play here by Черенков. Oh, he might have gone alone then. He decided to be unselfish and turn it back, but played it actually in behind Rodionov and Protasov, and suddenly the Colombians get a break at the other end. Good play by Rинком. Oh, he certainly likes to have a crack, Rинком. He was a bit optimistic then, in all truth. Rodionov dispossessed, but the Soviets win it back. Rodionov, and a useful little ball for Litовченко, but got that all wrong, really. Альварес. Correро did well to make the space, and it's a decent effort. Well, it's pretty neat and attractive football from Colombia here, but it certainly lacks sting. And that shot was always way off target, not likely to trouble. Correio does well here. Crowd wanting him to go all the way. He thought about it and finally gets the shot in. More time. Well, the crowd oohed and ahed, but in truth, near for the Soviet Union. Given away to Gomez. Rинком, that's a good little ball forward. Gomez with the shot. Driven in and punched clear by Igita. And the long-range shot could have gone anywhere and still could. Back it comes to Rats, in fact. Headed away by Correia. And Альварес, who thought about letting in Europe, playing for Espanyol in Spain before going back to the Soviet Union. Decent free kick and a good effort as well by Protasov. Igita. Weird and wonderful atmosphere the Colombians play their football in. There have been allegations that Colombian club sides have been involved in a mistake there by Igita, so hold on for a moment. There's the rather wild shot by Черенков. Good overlapping run here by Lужный, and he did well to keep it in play. Clever little ball, Litовченко. And then, it was just a bit too far ahead of Protasov. Эррера. Well done. And suddenly Rodionov in the clear. And Rodionov might well have given the Soviets the lead then to open the scoring. Lужный. Surely offside. Well, astonishingly, it wasn't given, and the goalkeeper came out and could pay the price. No, he's all right. The defender back to help out. Well, a little bizarre period of play. And finally, difficult in-swinger. Igita had a bit of trouble dealing with it. Goal kick. Wasted ball. And suddenly Litovchenko saw Igita almost inevitably out of his... But Igita does invite that kind of opportunism. Now this could be dangerous. And suddenly Igor has a chance to score. And one back well by Zygmantovich for the Soviets. Yaremchuk forcing it through to Rodionov. And the long-range effort was never really going to bother Igita. But the Soviets pressing up more on Colombia. That was a clumsy sort of clearance. Oops. Goalkeeper came, thought about it and changed his mind. But he does seem to get away with things, Igita. Protasov with the final effort. Rats with the free kick. Well, take your pick. There was at least 4 players in an offside position. Ooh, that was a terrific save by Igita. It really was. Well, he made... Here's Correia. What a terrible ball, straight to Tatarchuk. And a useful one for Rodionov to chase here. And still Rodionov, and he's done well. And so is the goalkeeper. 1 or 2 of his defenders stood in a appeal for offside, and suddenly Colombia break at the other end. Well, certainly Igita was a better goalkeeper than you sometimes might imagine from his antics. And he proved it then. But Rodionov probably should have scored. But here's Rинком. Good little ball as well for Correро. And still Correro. Oh, and Chanov had a lot of trouble dealing with that. Good football as well. And back it goes to that man, Rodionov again. And again, Igita doing the unusual. And most of these supporters would love to see Rинком score here, but he hits it straight at the wall. And Chanov quite equal to... Good ball as well. And Igita knew exactly where that was going. And the erratic talents of René Igita, the Colombian goalkeeper, will produce in this situation. He's a real showman. He'll no doubt relish it. Alexis Mendоса with the first penalty for Colombia against Victor Chanov. And at last the ball hits the back of the net, and that's 1-0 to Colombia. And hit with real authority by Mendоса. To the goalkeeper's right, high into the net. Protasov, the Soviet player coming forward, Oleg Protasov, scored a couple of goals in the World Cup qualifying tournament for them. And a really experienced goal scorer. This situation, no fears for him. And duly dispatched into an almost identical place. 1-1 on penalties. Must be a huge relief when you've taken your penalty and it's safely in the net. And he sent Igita the wrong way. Now Guerrero, it looks like, for the second penalty. Miguel Guerrero. 1-1 at the moment. Colombia's second penalty. Two-1 to Colombia. problem for Correro. And that's a great penalty, right in the corner. Chanov had no hope of reaching it. Now Litovchenko, experienced player with over 50 international caps to his credit, and was actually top goal scorer in the Soviet World Cup qualifiers with 3 goals. Oh, but he's missed it, and that was a poor penalty. Well, it'll go down officially as a save by Igita, but really Litовченко hit that with no authority at all, side-footed, and he could pat the ball away, Igita. Not a good penalty at all, and that would favour the lobby, who think you should power penalties rather than try and place them. So it's still 2-1, with both teams having had 2 penalties each now. And Freddie Rynkom with the 3rd Colombian penalty. This could be important, and blasted home for 3-1. Well, that puts a lot of pressure now on the next Soviet penalty taker. He's got to really score to keep the Soviets alive. Be Rodionov, who ironically missed a couple of good chances in the match itself. Rodionov against Igita. Oh, and high into the net. That's a superb penalty for 3-2. Well, Rodionov did the business when it mattered in the shootout, even if he didn't score from 1 or 2 good openings in the match. And now Kabrera. 3-2 the scoreline to Colombia on penalties after the 90 minutes had ended 0-0. Kabrera with the next one for Colombia. Oh, it was saved by Chanov, so it's still 3-2. The first miss by a Colombian player, Wilmer Cabrera. That was a good save, actually, because it was reasonably well hit. He didn't really power it, but it was quite accurately placed towards the corner, and Chanov palmed it clear. So Colombia leading 3-2 now on penalties, and the substitute, the man who we believe might have come on just to take this penalty, Kolivанов. Oh, well, if he did, it wasn't exactly the greatest technical move by the Soviets, because he's missed it. Kolivанов misses it. That's the 2nd miss from the spot, and that means it's still 3-2, and by my calculations that means that the next penalty for Colombia could decide this match. Because this one could give them an unbeatable 4-2. Who's taking it? René Higuita, the goalkeeper. Well, he will really savour this moment if he can score against his opposite number, Viktor Chanov. And he has taken penalties before. Yes, he's done it. Igita has scored the vital penalty, and that means that Colombia have beaten the Soviet Union in the penalty shootout. And the goalkeeper, who's done so much to keep his side alive with a few very good saves, has actually clinched it from the spot. 4-2 on penalties.